Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kieran, I'm a junior doctor and a comedian. I make funny videos about your health and also not funny videos about your health that are also informative. So if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Today we're going to be watching one of the greatest cartoons of all time, Rick and Morty, Anatomy Park. In this episode, Rick, who's a scientist, and his grandson Morty are exploring Anatomy Park. Anatomy Park is a theme park that Rick has built inside this homeless man's body. It's as weird as it sounds and is filled with medical stuff. Let's check it out. We're going to jump straight into the bit where Rick shrinks Morty down and puts him inside this homeless man's body.
An amusement park inside a human body. Science isn't cheap, Morty. This should really help put a dent in the overhead.
The fountain in the middle of the park is literally a pair of kidneys with the aorta squirting out blood.
Oh my god! This is insane! Spleen Mountain, Bladder Falls, Pirates of the Pancreas.
You got a problem with that last one, Morty?
Huh? No, I'm just reading them out loud in the order that I'm seeing them.
So there's a few attractions at Anatomy Park, including Spleen Mountain, Bladder Falls, which looks like it's full of urine, and also Pirates of the Pancreas. Pirates of the Pancreas is quite a funny one, and I think that name probably comes from the fact that the pancreas is actually made up of lots of different islands or islets. For example, the islets of Langerhans, which have the cells inside that actually produce insulin. So there's lots of islands or islets in the pancreatic cells, and islands, I guess, is linked to Caribbean islands, Pirates of the Caribbean. That's either a really, really clever joke, or I'm that English teacher who's reading way too much into that book and the author didn't actually mean that at all. The little floats as well in the flume are red blood cells that you can jump into. So I love that as well.
Okay, alright, if I sounded a little defensive, it's because Pirates of the Pancreas was my baby. You know, I got a lot of pushback when I pitched it, Morty. I guess I'm still a little defensive. Let's just find Dr. Bloom, alright? I'm picking up a distress signal in the liver, Morty. Proceed to the liver.
My favourite bit of this sign is the colon log route, which is obviously a euphemism for taking a poop. Now Morty's taking the train to Lower Abdomen Land.
Ow!
Mind the gap.
And he's arrived
Really
at the
scary
liver.
in here, Rick.
The liver's under maintenance. Ruben's seen some rough years, Morty. Don't judge. You don't agree to have a theme park built inside you if your life's going great.
Morty, that's Poncho. This is Roger and Annie.
Whoa!
And I am Dr. Xenon Bloom.
So we've now met Dr. Xenon Bloom, who looks like he's an amoeba. Amoebas are unicellular organisms. So some amoebas are dangerous for humans, so I'm not quite sure what he's doing inside the body.
Hey, Bloom, it's Rick. What the hell's going on here?
I don't know why, but the entire security system has shut down, and I'm afraid the exhibits are unlocked.
Exhibits?
Anatomy Park's greatest attraction, young man, isn't the music or the food or the Pirates of the Pancreas.
Watch it.
It is, first and foremost, a living museum of humanity's most noble and ferocious diseases.
Diseases?
Hey, Doc, I got news for you. Your living museum is officially a wild safari!
Hepatitis A! Run!
So now they're running away from hepatitis A, which is this big monster. Hepatitis A is a virus that can affect the liver. Hepatitis means inflammation of the liver. Itis in medicine always means inflammation, like pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas, colitis, inflammation of the colon. Hepatitis A is usually spread by eating contaminated food or water. There's a few other types of hepatitis that you may be aware of, like hepatitis B and hepatitis C, which are spread via the bloodborne route rather than the fecal-oral route, like hepatitis A.
That's strange. Airflow is down 20%.
So the brain isn't getting enough oxygen. That's why
So
security's
now they're
offline.
entering
Well, I guess we better
alveoli
check it out.
forest.
If we got up to the bronchial catwalk, we could look for a blockage.
I'll go.
Don't be a hero, kid.
So the alveoli are these air sacs in your lungs, and this is where gas exchange occurs. So you swap out all the carbon dioxide that's come from the used blood and you put in some fresh oxygen. That oxygenated blood can then go to the rest of the body where it may be needed. And the detail on this is actually great as well, because you can see these alveoli at the end of the bronchioles. The bronchioles are the very small end airways. So you can see them almost like lollipops on a stick being inflated and deflated. You also talked about the brain not getting enough oxygen. The medical term for an organ not getting enough oxygen is hypoxia, and that's a real problem. So I can see why they're concerned.
It's all right, my dear. Nearly all human lungs contain a strain of these bacteria, but the scar tissue keeps them dormant.
They've also had a look at this sticky scar tissue as well, which causes a problem in the lungs sometimes. Scar tissue in the lungs is called fibrosis.
Morty, get down!
Whoa! 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 Oh, what are those things?
Tuberculosis coming in fast!
Not faster than a bullet!
No! Do you know what you've done? Get to the digestive tract. He's coughing.
Don't let me die! Just take a deep breath, Ruben.
You're not gonna die! What's your name?
My name is...
So that black bacteria would have been Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which is what causes tuberculosis. TB commonly affects the respiratory system and it is super contagious and can be really fatal, as we've seen in this case. But the good thing is we have vaccines for it, so people at risk actually get vaccinated against TB with the BCG vaccine. Also, there's certain antibiotics we know are very good at treating tuberculosis. The other thing that happened in that scene is that this guy shot the lung. When he created that piercing, because of the negative air pressure on that side, what actually happened is the air, along with all of them, got sucked out. And that's actually really clever the way they've done that. It's because that's really similar to what happens when you have an air leak in the lung as well, or a pneumothorax. So having a pneumothorax is when you have a puncture of the lung and the air gets sucked out and goes into that surrounding cavity. The level of detail on this is amazing.
Oh man, what is that horrible smell?
You mean the Panda Express? I'm kidding. The body is beginning to constrict and fill with gas. We're inside a corpse, my boy. Anatomy Park is doomed.
So he said the body's constricting and filling with gas. So that is something that happens when someone dies, is that the body does fill with gas, but it wouldn't happen that quickly. It normally happens after a body's decayed, as far as I'm aware.
Forget about the park, Doctor! How do we get out?
The digestive tract is the evacuation route. Get it? There's an emergency station in the colon with a ray that can enlarge us all.
Everybody, head for the colon!
Now I'm taking orders from a 12...
So now they're heading to the colon for evacuation.
The tuberculosis was sabotaged. This disaster was an inside job. Keep your eye on Annie. She was written up several times by her manager at the churro stand.
Intestines are ahead to the left, then to the right, then left, etc.
So he goes, intestines are ahead to the left, then the right, then the left. He's talking about the wavy shape of the intestines. And you knew that, you didn't need me to explain it. I just thought it was an amazing joke.
Hey, just so you know, I'm actually 14. So, you know,
What?
not 12.
Okay.
You know, because he just said I was 12.
Oh, good for you.
Oof. Oh, Morty. Strike one.
It's a road out one, clear a trail of food. It's a pack, race, break, up the bad and good. It's a tube that digests and then sings out the rest. It's a small, small intestine.
So they're singing the song, It's a Small Intestine. It's a small, small intestine. This looks like it's a parody of the Disney World ride. It's a small world after all, but because obviously they're in the intestine, they're singing about the intestine.
It goes on like this for miles.
Then we get to the large intestine.
Shh, I hear something.
Don't move. Gonorrhea can't see us if we don't move. Wait, I was wrong. I was thinking of a T-Rex.
We're staying down! Doc, didn't you say that the body was filling with gas?
Yes. Why?
Kid, you're a genius.
Are you mad?
Everybody in here!
Hey, gonorrhea! How's this for a burning sensation?
So the body's filling with gas. Although the body's filling with gas, I don't think it would be a flammable gas. The other thing is, when he threw the match, he said, how's this for a burning sensation? What he's referring to is one of the symptoms of gonorrhea, which is burning or stinging on passing urine. Other symptoms of gonorrhea include discharge, irregular menstrual bleeding, and dysuria or pain on passing water, which we've obviously talked about. But luckily the guys have managed to evade it, and it looks like Morty might get the girl as well.